Fast forward time. Just to the best of your ability, try to look forward in time. See where your decisions right now can lead you. And if you continue on this quest, or whatever you're doing right now, consistently, see where it can lead you in 3 to 5 years, right? And then multiply that by another 5, 10 years. You can literally tie your decisions to your future. So in this video, I wanted to touch on the fact that we all have a role to play in what we create for ourselves. We can pray all day long, but we participate with making things happen with God. We have the ability. God gave us self-control. God gave us discipline, right? He chastises his children, those that he loves. But with that comes obedience, right? And self-control, and it comes with like all of this stuff that tries to tie itself to you in temptation form and stuff like that. Your decisions will create your future. Your future can be the most prized possession that you can hold within your mind and heart. Like, everybody's looking forward to the future for the most part, right? Because the future is unknown. And possibilities are endless as to what can happen with the future, and it's moldable and shapeable, right? So the future is this, like, anything can happen, anything. And so people usually, when they look in, when they talk about the future, usually it has a positive connotation to it. Usually the sun is out in the future when they speak of the future, right? But in a very practical way, reality, we need to make our decisions that reflect what we want to see in the future. Period. It really needs to be practical, that you don't anticipate to be a billionaire, a millionaire, but then you're living in rubbish today and you're not doing anything, right, to kind of head in that direction. It's just not gonna happen. So even if it does happen, how are you prepared to handle those millions and billions of dollars? Are you doing anything to prepare your mind and heart for, say, maybe winning the lottery? Hey, winning the lottery, even a fool can win the lottery. However, a fool will lose all its winnings in less than a year. And that is not a far-fetched thing to say, because statistics say in under a year they all go broke again. So, man, this is so important. To train, to develop, to look after. You gotta father this, mother this, if you're a woman. Like, you gotta stand above this, man. And you gotta look down and hover over what it is that you're dwelling on, thinking about, meditating on, what it is. You gotta father it. Father is another word for steward, manage. You gotta create what you wanna see and be. It's not going to happen from a drop of the sky. When we talk about God, let's put things in perspective. God, he is going to give you only what you can handle, only what you will manage well. God's not going to give you something that you can't manage. He would be a bad father if he did that to you. And God's not a bad father. He's a good father. He's not going to give you more than you can handle. Right? Even when temptation comes knocking, God says, I don't allow it to be more than you can bear, and I always provide a way out. Right? So God's heart is like looking after you, but you play the role in making sure that you do the right thing and the right decision at that time to create the future that you want to see. I'm reminded of the story of when this guy got thrown on the bed by the king's wife, and their names are escaping me right now, but it's a well-known story. And he fled from sexual immorality. He ran away from this woman that wanted to sleep with him, right? I don't know, it could be Joseph, I'm not 100% on that, but he fled, he ran away from sexual immorality. And and the temptation was there, the knock on the door was there, but he didn't answer that door. In the book of Genesis, God told Cain, You know, sin crouches at the door and it wants in, but you must master it. What does that sound like? It sounds like you have a responsibility to master some stuff in your life, right? From glory to glory, faith to faith, we shall move in understanding and wisdom, right? We develop our senses, right? We walk by faith and not by sight, but we're not brutes. We know danger when we see it, and we don't go in that direction. We don't hang around with company that's going to get us into trouble. And you know what? These little practical little steps like that go a long way for your future. It ties into your future. When you say no, I remember I asked my cousin, I was on my birthday, I was going to a strip club, and I asked my cousin, come with me. And my cousin said no to me. And I went to that strip club. I came out and I had the biggest car wreck of my life. I was running away from the police, and I crashed at 120 miles per hour running away. And my cousin would have been in the car with me, man. His decision of saying no to me saved his own life. And I don't know how I could live with myself if that would be on my conscience today. You know, and decisions, man, they're tied to the future. And you got to understand what's right and what's wrong in this world. And the world, the culture of this day and age is backwards. A lot of it is backwards. And I feel pity for the youth. They're being trained by a satanic system. Okay? And often it comes from the political down. And they're telling you how to think, how to feel, how to go. They're confusing everybody that doesn't have a foundation of truth in their life. Everybody that doesn't have any kind of form of identity, they're confused right now. And I pity them. I have compassion on people like that. And my advice to you is, God will give you identity. Jesus Christ will form you and shape you and sculpt you and mold you. Read your Bible. Read Proverbs as a book to read when you don't know anything, where to start with. Read Proverbs. Proverbs would be a good foundation for you to start at, right? But I just remember being blind, man. I remember how dull I was. I remember how stupid I was. And I look back and I'm like, man, I'm looking at a reflection of who I used to be with a lot of people in today's day and age. They have a feeling and they just think I am the feeling. They have a thought and they say, surely I think now I'm gay because I just had a thought. And it's like, oh no, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. The Bible talks a lot about darts and it's spiritual warfare and how the enemy deceives, and you gotta fight, man. You gotta have faith. You gotta believe what God says about you, not what man says about you. Certainly not what your feelings say about you, because your feelings are always changing. That's why some people one day say I'm a man, and then another one says I'm a woman, and then they say I'm them, and all within the same day they're all three. And it's like, wait, what? What did you just say? And it's like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. And it's like, oh, you need a hug. Oh, let me hug you. Come here. Oh, okay, you need a lot of love. And you need a lot of Jesus. Because when I say you need a lot of Jesus, you need a lot of truth. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. People have lost their way. People have lost the truth in all of this body of lies. I feel pity for those people that listen to the news. You should know that the news is full of garbage, nonsense, a lot of lies, deception. Please tell me you don't believe all that. Please, man. Please. Oh, God help them.